Hello, welcome back. I'm RomanHoliday, your Civ6 AI modder. First of all, let's have a recap of the events that happened in the previous episode. Okay. Germany's already dead. That Hand Gardens has been built for Georgia. Okay, Cario, it's only a matter of time. Well, it's a couple turns now. Crossbow, yeah, it's... Oh dear. Yeah, that horseman's not going to save you, mate. And there's nobody to trade with. So, not a Shah. 5 worst civs versus 5 best civs. And so far, I mean, Georgia's taken a capital, and so has Nader Shah. So it really does show the state of balancing in Civ 6, especially after that final New Frontier balance pass. Okay, welcome back. Babylon, they're giving up, really, on the Swedish offensive to focus on their domestic economy. How are they doing that? Having said that, they're attacking here. They're doing that with Great Library, which will give them a free tech whenever anyone else earns a Great Scientist, which will be pretty often. Georgia's going to get one next turn. So next turn, Babylon's getting a tech. It's a win-win, really, isn't it? Babylon either gets the Great Scientist, which gives them a load of tech boosts, or some other kind of benefit like this, the non-food yield happiness benefit. So it's a win-win, really, here for Babylon if they do get Great Library. Oh, they did not. Oh, they did. They actually used the Great Engineer that has more charges from Mausoleum to rush it. Wow. Oh, wow. That is clever. I mean, what can I say? It's my AI. It is chaos here, and Georgia has their unique unit everywhere. The Kevser. It replaces man-at-arms, 7 combat strength on hills and no movement penalty on the hill terrain. And of course, like most unique units, it's free strength higher by default. I think really what's happened here is that Ludwig is kind of being saved by this chaos. Oh, he's gone diplomatic Basil, pagoda Basil. I'm liking it. Yeah, the Tagmas are just wrecking havoc here. I mean, these Tagmas, 50 strength plus 4 strength for nearby unit, and then a plus 10 from Crusade, plus I believe a plus 3 from taxis so far, because Basil has not taken anybody else out. Babylonian tech boosts everywhere. Ferren is stealing from the Egyptians. Imran is gaining visibility for the extra free strength over Egypt if they are to go to war here. We've got send aid being done everywhere for this aid, Babylonian aid request, which is quite funny. They're giving aid to their arch enemy, but they don't care, because what they do care about is that 2 diplomatic victory points and 100 diplomatic favor for winning. That with Statue of Liberty would put Sweden, so they'll be at 7 if they win both the aid request and build Statue of Liberty. That's respectable for this stage in the game. People in the comments have been requesting a bit more comparisons. So let's have a look at the different victory types so far. Babylon is way ahead on technology now. But before, Nader Shah was ahead by 2. Now Babylon, with half the science to turn, is 8 techs ahead of Nader Shah, despite having far less production, far less food, far smaller empire. And I assume Nader Shah got Oxford University. Yeah, he did. So that's even with Nader Shah having the 2 extra techs from Oxford University. Wow. Wow, and Nader Shah's trying to keep up with the tech boost here, but of course he only gets a 40% from these spies rather than the whole tech. Everyone's stealing from the Egyptians. Egyptians, they need some kind of countermeasures out here. Sweden, 180 culture turn winning culture. Byzantium winning domination with that capture of Tamar's capital. Tamar has Ludwig's capital, but Basil has Tamar's capital. And Nader Shah has Sultan Saladin's capital. He's just churning out spies and churning out campus research grants. Alfred Noble, he's going to get another tech for free, and then he's going to get 67 points towards all future great people. I remember one that was buffed, so it was vastly higher and scaled with the game speed of it. I think it used to be like 20 ores. Not very many free great person points for future ones, but Babylon just earned 70 great scientist points a turn, and he's really going for the engineer with double charge as well. Banishal was trying to vote for Hammurabi, not to Grovir culture, which would have been funny. Oh, Sweden tried to ban Nader Shah's borders. So there's a lot of spite going on in the world at the moment. Looks like we have a competitor for diplomatic victory, and that is Georgia. They're actually quite a good diplomatic victory civ. especially if they get those double envoys with once they're suzerained. Papal primacy is something they often pick with my mod, but they haven't this time. There's always a bit of randomness, but in version 4 they often pick it because that first envoy, if you send it to a city-state, as Georgia, quick early enough in the game, that 200 pressure will be enough to convert it to your religion. If you combine that with diplomatic league, I believe you could then get immediate suzerain on a bunch of different city-states, which makes Georgia not a meme civ by any chance anymore. And in a surprise turn, Ludwig's retaken this land. Could we see Ludwig come back? Ludwig culture victory, and he even finished the Temple of Artemis in the Apadana city, which does give this theatre square 4 culture, and he gets the 2 envoys from Apadana. More Babylonian spies stealing those tech boosts. Babylon is completely busted in this. Georgia trying to build Statue of Liberty, but I'm pretty sure Sweden are going to get it first. And that tech gap between Babylon and Nader Shah is really widening now. It's now 12 techs, despite, again, Babylon having half the science to turn. I think Persia's only hope here really is that if they can, in their tallest cities, outproduce Babylon on the science projects with 828 total production, but that Mausoleum, Babylon's already launching Earth satellites. Are you kidding me? They have, that's the 20% space race projects, and they've got 2 charges on them. So they're already going to have, they've just used 1, so they're already going to have 40% more production towards space projects, and they don't need that, they're already way ahead. Oh no. Hammurabi got Albert Einstein, which is not quite as good, one of the best great scientists in the game, you could argue, but not quite as good for Babylon here, because that 4 science and research labs is obviously halved to 2 science. It's 40% production towards space race projects. That might have won them the game, and they're building air defenses here in aerodromes to protect themselves. He has technologist on this spy. 2 more levels at stealing technology for Imran. Imran's carrying the game for Babylon. He's actually still a classical republic somehow, but yeah, he's not got to nuclear program yet. He's close. He's about here, and nuclear program is here. So I think when he gets the nuclear program, it could be the game over. The only way Babylon's going to be stopped here is if the world can team on him, or the spies can decimate his spaceports. Nice little national park here. Sweden's finishing Statue of Liberty in 1 turn and still doing more aid requests for a new aid request on Nader Shah, which will take them to 5 diplomatic victory points. And if they can win these 2 aid requests, they might get to 7. Christina's kind of been denied there by Tamar. They've diverted to this diplomatic victory because they know they're not going to win now after they've kind of lost the bulk of their empire to Basil. And what Basil's done here is they've pushed into Georgia, and they've taken some of their best cities, Tel Aviv, 12th population, and the capital. And now they're kind of pivoting to a science victory. You can see them stealing tech boosts over here just momentarily ago, and the amount of campus research and industrial zone they're doing. They're using this diplomatic favor they're getting from pagodas on the side to get their way in the World Congress, and that is going to give them, it's coming up right now, and that's going to give them a lot of leverage because they're building it in every single city. Recruit partisans has been banned, and in a very close vote, minus 50% production towards units. Sweden really wanted to double towards faith. Interesting. And the non-faith civs trying to double production costs for Basil here. No more no government plaza buying faith units for Basil if that passed. And yeah, he has built the Grand Master's Chapel, so good thing that didn't pass. That would be a useless building otherwise. Nader Shah has actually overtaken Basil now. That extra production is coming in clutch, and I think I'm feeling here that Basil's actually missing a couple of the... Yeah, he's missing satellites because of the way he gets almost random technologies from his spying missions, from the Great Library, from great people he's earning. He's not really completing the tech tree completely, and so he's missing a couple of those very important science victory techs. He's got 40% production towards space race projects, but he doesn't have the tech for moon landing. Could we see a Nader Shah victory? I don't know. Let's have a look at overall techs. And Nader Shah has caught up here, 56 to 62. All of those stealing tech boosts are paying off now. I think it really comes down to can get this free tech boost to scientists. I don't think they can because they got the previous one. Problem is that Hammurabi is who is on autocracy for some reason. Quick recap of the governments. Nader Shah on fascism. Cleopatra Merchant Republic. Hammurabi's actually allied to Cleopatra. I like that. The Kemens have gone communism, Basil on theocracy. Not a surprise there. And it looks like in a second after he researches ideology, well, he's going to do nuclear program first, as I was talking about, to get that double steal. And then he's probably going to go to maybe democracy, maybe communism, maybe fascism. All three are good here. As Hammurabi building a lot of bombers, I think he's going to be using his tech advantage to knock out some neighbors and expand his sphere of influence here. Nadir doesn't have the tech, but he does have the production, and he is ahead on science at the moment. Hammurabi still does not have satellite. And Timur has overtaken Christina after Congress and one aid request. A aid request that she's running right now. See, the Kemens do have work ethic in 63 cities with cross-cultural dialogue, which really is keeping them up on science. 428. Poland's just declared war on Sweden. Poor Sweden, having a tough game. Now being backed with Polish ironclads over this kind of strait here. Oh no! Sweden has just been caught completely off guard. They're building navy, but it's too late. This city, Iron Raw Claw, is gone. What's kind of funny is that I think Egypt know here that they're really in the middle of all the enemies. More Babylonian spies. Oh, this Babylonian spy here, right? That's going to get, if successful, Imran, he's still at it with his technologist promotion. But if he's successful here with Hammurabi's democracy and nuclear espionage, he's going to get 2 techs here. And he's running at one level higher than normal because of cryptography. And I'm guessing that Hammurabi is probably has intelligence agency. He does not yet, but I'm sure he will build intelligence agency very soon. This is stupid. This really is something. And Hammurabi's powering ahead now. He's got satellites. He's done the Mars colony. He's done the moon landing. He's got the extra production towards the projects. He needs smart materials and exoplanet expedition, and he's on his way. We could still see Nadir win. It's been a very, very honourable game from Nadir here, but he was selected as one of the weaker civs for a reason for his victory type. And there's nothing much he can do against the might of Babylon playing well here, I think. Babylon's really going for those campus research cards. And if Babylon wins this, they're quite far behind at the moment, but they do have a lot of more points per turn than anyone I can see. They're going to gain the Eureka for all technologies in the information era. Maybe they have all of them already? No, I don't think he does. Surely not. Wow. That's going to be huge for his military capabilities. And he can go straight to the key important science victory ones to finish out the game. He's also building Operation Ivy and has a lot of bombers and uranium return now, which is worrying for the likes of Sweden, who are losing to Poland at the moment. Unfortunately, Ludwig may have held on just about, but he has no friends. Nobody likes Ludwig. I don't know why. We can have a quick look at his government. He's got monarchy, elite forces to try and protect himself here, looks like. It's expensive, but very, very good policy. Scrapers to build more wonders. Public works to improve all his tiles. And invention, charismatic leaders. It's a good government. Naval units to protect himself. Government. I'm enjoying this kind of neatly organized navy, nuclear submarine armadas over here, ready to defend themselves against Babylon if needed, which is very wise. Oh, and Wulin is dead. A lot of nuclear projects around the world, nuclear power plants, Manhattan projects being built in Persia. I don't know what's going on in this Swedish city. It's a little spy conference. Babylon have now built the intelligence agency. So those spies, Imran with his +1 level from the cryptography and double tech boost from nuclear espionage and technologist promotion. He's living the life here. He's probably got about... He probably will get about 10 technologies. I can hear the nuclear weapon sound, but that's just the nuclear submarine. And Hammurabi actually has an alliance with Tamar. The unholy alliance across the sea. Fascist Tamar, in fact. Okay. Interesting. Tamar's building war department. Ruby wise, you gain 20 HP whenever you take out a unit with war department. Very, very good, especially when it looks like Basil's about to come in any second with 1 million bombers. Yeah. Wulin has been integrated into the Egyptian Empire, and Egypt has air defenses everywhere here, diplomatic quarter protected, industrial zones protected, fighters deployed everywhere, and really anti-air guns everywhere as well, because they know that they could be in the middle of a global war here, and they're getting ready for it, and so is Babylon as well. The World Congress has given 2 diplomatic victory points to Christina. There's also been an emergency against Cleopatra for taking Wulin there. That could be the start of a big war. You know, if Tamar had built Statue of Liberty, she would be on 13 now. And if she'd won the diplomatic victory resolution just then, she would be on 15. So Tamar could easily be on 15 now if Christina wasn't handicapping her like she is. So they're really both shooting each other in the foot here. And there's been a massive war. Hammurabi has declared war on Cleopatra, along with Tamar and Nader Shah. So now Cleopatra is now being attacked on basically all fronts, other than the Kemens here. So she has no alliances anymore. It really wasn't worth it. The Persian helicopters are coming in now. The bombers, the jet bombers, this stack of jet bombers is about to cause havoc. And I would probably say the same for Babylon's bombers as well, if they don't get taken out. Big mistake here. Big mistake. He's building some peace-making devices to, you know, just keep the peace. Nader Shah's caught up and has smart materials, which Hammurabi also has. So really it's going to be about who launches the exoplanet expedition first. Hammurabi gets his in 4 turns, and Nader Shah gets his in 18. Yeah, so even though Poland and Cleopatra have got Carl Sagan and Stephanie, some of the most important great people in the whole game, for 100% production towards space race projects, it doesn't really matter because Babylon has so much production as it is. Babylon has not really got any of these recent great scientists or engineers, but it doesn't really matter. He's just so far ahead from everyone else he's doing. And remember, every single great scientist he doesn't earn, i.e. both Stephanie and Carl Sagan, he received a technology from Great Library. I know it's quite frankly ridiculous. Cleopatra with her 1,100 production, that's almost the highest in the game behind Nader Shah, is actually leading the offensive into Babylon here. Babylon's just playing defensive here, just knowing that they are going to win science victory if they keep it up and hopefully have enough aluminium, which they do, to launch the Lagrange laser station project. And Egypt have just taken Edessa from very useless city, but they've just taken it from Basil in this little colony they have down here. Look, Egypt have come all the way down here and somehow managed to have a little kind of island colony, along with Ludwig, who's been pushed off the mainland and has been forced to expand to quite literal desert island out here. Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. Could this Persian settler be about to be transported somewhere else? I don't know. Oh! Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, Babylon! Babylon's actually indirectly declared war on Nader Shah by doing that. I did say, what did I say? That Cleopatra knew she was going to be in the middle of this war. She has the fighters everywhere, the air defenses everywhere, but she didn't upgrade them to mobile SAMs, and it wasn't enough. She's really faced the punishment for taking out Wulin here. It triggered the emergency. It triggered Babylon to come into the war, and this is the punishment. I don't know what happened to the animation, but actually, she's been thermonuked here, and it probably isn't the last thermonuke she's going to receive. Babylon has launched their exhibition first, but will he have the production to get enough of those booster projects out? We'll find out. But one thing that is for certain is the 2 leaders on for science victory are now at war with each other, and both have a lot of nuclear weapons. Nader Shah has 5 thermonukes, 2 regular nukes, and Hammurabi doesn't have any, but he's building more. He was building more, that was. Yeah. Wow.